Hey family, it's Alysha Wood Survivor here, and this is going to be some red signs and red flags from my personal experience from growing up being raised by two pedophiles, child predators, being brainwashed, groomed, and sexually assaulted from ages 3 to 10 consistently, frequently, every day, every night. Let's get into it. One of the red signs and red flags from my personal experience is always getting in trouble, not only passing out in school, but I was a big troublemaker. I was always trying to cause trouble and mayhem in class, just to seek any kind of attention, even if it was bad, to the point where I get notes home every day, which was a red sign and red flag. Also, another red sign and red flag is how frequently I would get kicked out and then sent back to my grandmothers, biological grandmothers, Mary Ann Marie Morley, which was a red sign and red flag, because I would just break down, have meltdowns because of what was going on. I didn't know how to process it, so I just had tantrums, and my tantrums were different than a normal child's, because I am much younger than I actually am, so everything is more intense. It's very hard for me to control my emotions, especially back then, because I didn't know that I was disabled, made to feel like I was normal. Another red sign and red flag is always coming to school smelling like ash, like cigarette butt, or alcohol, from always being around Mary Ann Marie Morley and Joe Jose Galves in the same house. They would smoke weed in the same room as me, get high, drunk, and they would color on my clothes, and kids would make fun of me because of it. Also, never having clothes that actually fit, unproperly dressed because of Joe Jose Galves and Mary Ann Marie Morley, which is a red sign and red flag in my personal opinion. Another red sign and red flag is always going out to bars, places kids aren't supposed to be, like the casino they took me to get drunk and high. Which was a red sign and red flag. Also, being pulled over by the police multiple times because of Joe Jose Galves would speed drunk and high down the highway, which was a red sign and red flag in my personal opinion. Also, another red sign and red flag is how abusive, like verbally abusive and physically abusive, Mary Ann Marie Morley was at times, to the point where she would chase me around the house trying to beat me. Which was a red sign and red flag. Also, another red sign, red flag is also them being high and drunk constantly, every day, every night, consistently, to the point where we almost had a house fire because of that multiple times, where Mary Ann Marie Morley would leave the stove on, to the point where the food would turn into ash, because how high and drunk she was. Also, another red sign, red flag is them being high and drunk constantly. I was very undernourished growing up. Even when I was hiding my food under my bed,